Hi guys, my name is Maikia Monique and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video about all the sonography information that you'll need to know if you want to apply, what kind of board tests you have to take, what do you need to get accepted into the program. We're just going to talk about all that little information here, and I hope I got everything that you guys need today. If not, you can always search other videos out there online, or you can drop it in the comments, your questions, and I'll try and get back to you. I know you're probably wondering, well, what is ultrasound specifically? I know a lot of people think ultrasound is just when you take pictures of the belly of the babies inside the mommy's bellies, but it's a lot of other things that goes into ultrasound. Like, there's a lot of different modalities that you can go into, so you don't have to just do OB, which is mostly what people think is just with the babies, but sometimes you also have to do like the vaginal scans. So me specifically, I'm doing cardiovascular sonography. That's the program I'm in. So basically, I'll be scanning hearts. Now I'm going to give you the actual definition so you guys know for sure what it is. But sonography is a medical imaging technique that uses sound waves to create pictures of the inside of the body. It's commonly used to check organs, blood flow, and monitor pregnancies without using radiation. So we know that radiation would be X-ray, which is different, very similar but different. So also, basically, sonographers are the ones behind the ultrasound machines, helping doctors diagnose and monitor different health conditions, but we aren't the person actually diagnosing the patient. We just need to know that information to know what's going on, so we can deliver it to the doctor, and they can go ahead and diagnose the patient. Also, another thing that I've learned is we don't typically give the patients their results. That is supposed to be the doctor who does that, but I've also learned that different facilities are different. So let's go ahead and get it started. As far as finding and getting to a sonography program, there are 3 different types of sonography programs that you can do. You can do an associate's program, or certificate program, or you can do a bachelor's degree in the program. So we know the bachelor's degree is going to be 4 years, the associate's degree is going to be 2 years, and typically the certificate degree is going to be about 2 years as well. So my program is, I think, 20 months. And then also that includes the prerequisites. And all schools do not include your prereqs. So your prereqs are going to be like your English, your math, your sciences. So college algebra, English 101, what it'll be, anatomy and physiology. It's just going to be those different courses and probably a few others. Every school is different, so you're going to need to know what your school is requiring as far as your prereqs. Now, like I said, my school includes my prereqs, so our first 6 months were us completing our prereqs. So we took anatomy and physiology, we took some medical like terminology courses, I took English again. I didn't have to take math because they let me transfer that 1 credit from when I went to college previously at FAMU. But also, what else did we take? We're taking like another class. It's just your prereq. So like I said, some people are going to want you to take those before, and some are going to let you do it in the program. Typically at a community college, they want you to take it beforehand. So once you take all of those, then you'll be in the running to get into the actual program with the other kids. Now, I will say that community colleges are typically 2 years, and typically it's a typically it's an associate's, not a certificate, but it can be a certificate, I think. I'm not sure. But those are really competitive because those schools are way less expensive. So versus the school I'm going to, it's like a private institution kind of, so it's way more money than community college. It's like maybe like $40,000 difference. But yeah, to each his own. You figure out what's going to work for you, and then you go from there. As far as finding the programs, what you want to do is go to khelpaccredited.com. I'm also going to put that link here so you can freeze it and copy and paste and go there. But basically what happens is you can go to KHEP, you can type in your city, your state, and then it'll find different programs around them for you. And so you'll just see the different schools that they have lined up. It'll tell you how long it's been accredited. What I would recommend is the contact information at the bottom. You want to press that, and then you want to give them a call, or it's going to take you to the site. You'll sign up, just putting your name, birthday, email, and phone number, and then they'll reach out to you. That's when they're going to try and bring you in for an interview to see why you're interested in the program. Now, again, this is a very, very, very competitive field, so you want to be very authentic and, organic when you go into your mini interview, because that's really what's going on. They're going to want to know things like, do you have time for this program starting off? Because again, this is a long program and it's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's almost like a nursing program. My mom did the nursing program, so I can tell you firsthand they are very similar. They're also going to want to know like your past history as far as school. Like, did you make good grades? What was your GPA as far as like in high school, or if you went to college? Again, are you passionate about being a sonographer? What drove you to this field? Are you going to have support from your family, because it's not going to be an easy walk in the park? And also, can you pay for school? Now, also when you get there, they're probably going to try and get you to take a test, or they might call you back in for the test. So I had to take, it was a HESI, and then they gave me like a mini guide, study guide, that I think I went over for like 3 days, and I had to take the test. The first time I failed, but it's so easy. I was overthinking it. I took it right again like 10 minutes later, and I passed like with flying colors. So it's not hard. Y'all will be fine. If anything, I can send y'all the study guide if your school don't give you one, and you want to ask them, maybe compare it and see if it's a good fit for that test. Also, I told you so many modalities that you can do on ultrasound. So you can do vascular, which is like scanning up the veins. You can do OB, which is like babies, and also sometimes the vaginal and stuff. Also, you could do cardiac, which is what I'm doing, and so that'll be with the heart. And then you can do vascular, which will also be, I already said vascular, but you can do cardiovascular as well. So in my school, I'm going to be learning cardiac and vascular, and so I can get certified in both, but I think I'm just going to do cardiac. Also, I want you guys to know cardiac and OB, and then the vascular, those are all different. So if you're doing cardiac, that's its own separate schooling. And if you're doing OB or vascular, or what else is it? Abdominal. We have abdominal. So the abdominal is here, scanning there. That is all one school together, but cardiac is different, though you can do vascular with cardiac. So how it works is you'll go to school for either or, and then at the end of schooling, you'll have to take a test. Now, you're going to have to take your board exams, and that's going to say what are you going to be specializing in. So for instance, me, I want to take my board exam. Well, I'll be taking my board exam when I graduate, or a little bit before graduation, depending on how it works. But I'll be taking my board exam, and I'll be specializing in cardiac. I can specialize in vascular if I'd like to as well, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do cardiac. Now for OB, abdominal, and vascular, you can actually get certified in all three. You just need to take all three board exams. You can also get specialized in pediatrics if you're in cardiac, or if you're in any of the other modalities, but that's just a separate test that you have to take as well. Now, we do have those state boards that you take, but also while you're in school, you'll also take another board exam, which is going to be called your SPI, which is sonography principles, instrumentation, I think. And so I'll be taking mine in about 3 months, I think, and that's basically a test on all ultrasound physics. I'm about to start my ultrasound physics class this month, so I'm really nervous. My past few months have been online for the past almost 6 months. This is my last month, and it's been going really good, but we were in person the first 3 months, and now we're online for 3 months, and then we start school back this month. And so I'll be taking my ultrasound physics, which everybody says is one of the hardest classes of your ultrasound career. But me and my classmates, we're so supportive to each other. We have so many study sessions. Like, I just love them. So I know we're all going to pass. We're going to get through this with flying colors, so I'm not worried. Now, also, when you're looking to go into this, remember, you're going to have class all the time. Like, we're about to start school again, and our class is going to be from Monday to Friday. We have Thursday off, but we're going to be there from, I think, 9 to 1. And I think, honestly, throughout the whole 2 years, the pace just picks up, well, the whole 20 months. So after this semester coming up again, we'll probably be in person more than that. And then remember, you have to start your clinicals. Clinicals is when you're going to be working at different hospitals to get your experience. So I have to get 980 clinical hours, which is a lot, but it'll be worked on over a span of like 9 months. And so a lot of the times also not a lot of the times, all the time, you want to treat your clinicals like a long-term interview, because you want to hope that you get hired, at your clinical sites, because that's an easy way. They've already been training you, they know how you work, but that's why they're also going to be watching you. Can people here work with her? Is she a quick learner? Are they a quick learner? Is she easy to catch on to these things? Will she be progressing? So always treat it like an interview. Um, Also, I will say a little bit of things about school. We cannot wear multiple earrings. We can wear one earrings. We cannot have false eyelashes, and we cannot have nails. You can't have visible tattoos. My partners have visible tattoos. I mean, some of my partners and my coworkers, I love them, but my classmates, I think they have to put makeup on them when we start school again. You can't have dyed hair, so no colored hair. We wear our scrubs every day, which I honestly love. What else can't we have? No nose piercings. I don't think you have any face piercings at all. So yeah, I'm very bare, but which is really good for me because about a year ago I started to stop wearing lashes. I love my eyes, and also I don't wear nails anymore. And if I do, I probably just put on press-on. So that was perfect. It's a lot of talk about going to accredited and non-accredited schools. I go to a non-accredited school, and everybody has different opinions. Some people who I've talked to are like, girl, it doesn't matter. You can get certified this way. And some people are like, oh my gosh, you should never go to accredited school. Do your research. I'm going to tell y'all now, I have a whole video out on my TikTok, and I'll put the link underneath too, so you can look at the difference between going to accredited or unaccredited school. And I can also make another video about it and post it here. But basically, when you're in the OB and abdominal and vascular, all those modalities, I think it's very important to go to accredited school so you can sit for your board exams right after. That is what it means. It means that you can sit for your board exams as soon as you finish your program. But when you don't and you go to those three options for school, you have to work, I think, for a year before you can even sit for a state exam. And typically, people are not hiring ultrasound techs who aren't registered and certified in their different modalities or with their state board. Now, because I'm going to school for cardiac, it's very, very different. I told you these two fields are the same but different. We have two accreditations that you can be accredited by. So you can have the, sorry y'all, I am at work. I'm trying to stay dedicated and motivated to this video because I've been trying to push this content out for a while. Anyways, so basically the cardiac is different. So we have two different places we can be registered with. So you can be registered through ARDMS, which is typically the #1 registry for everywhere, worldwide, nationwide, it doesn't matter. But with cardiac, you can also be CCI registered. So when you don't go to a accredited school, as long as you have like all your clinical hours through your program and everything, you can sit for your board exam with the CCI instead of the ARDMS. And typically, I would say this is what's going to tell you how to make your decision. Look in the cities and states that you want to be working in, or where you already live and you're going to be working in. See what their job applications are asking for. Some of them will literally say, had to go to an ARDMS accredited school, or it'll say need to have ARDMS accreditation or CCI accreditation, or it'll say you need to obtain your ARDMS accreditation. Well, it'll say like because it's different, it's like RCD, RDCS. It's a whole bunch of different terms, and when you go watch that video, you're gonna see the difference. The one that I said is on my TikTok, but it'll say specifically when you need to be registered. Sometimes they'll even give you a year to get registered in that. So for instance, with the CCI, also, if you take your CCI, that sets you up to be able to take your ARDMS. So as soon as I say for my CCI, I can also go take my ARDMS. Also, if you have a bachelor's degree, you can go straight into the ARDMS, but you have to have 1,680 clinical hours, which is a lot. So you will have to work with that and figure out how you're going to do that, because that's going to have to be in the span of 12 months. Again, all that information is on my video. That's going to be linked in the comments. But what I was saying was that it's just very different. So what I did to make my decision was looked at everywhere I think I possibly would want to work, see what they were asking for, see what they were accepting. And I've learned just from looking while I've been in school, so many people accept the CCI, and if they don't, a lot of them are like, you have a year to take your ARDMS. Now realistically, I don't think people sit for the CCI and then go straight into the ARDMS, because there are two different tests, but I've heard that they're very different, but obviously they're the same because they're on the same modality. But that's just a lot of preparing. But again, nobody knows what you want to do but your universe, your Lord, your God, whoever you pray to. So that's up to you. Me personally, I'm going to sit for my CCI, and then hopefully I'm going to sit for my ARDMS if I can, or when I can, because I want to be a travel sonographer. So those are other opportunities that you can have in this job field. Like as far as growing, you know, with nursing, is so many places to grow. So that's why I was a little hesitant about doing sonography at first, but I just realized I don't think I want to be a nurse. Maybe I may change my mind later down the line, because you can go into so many different specialties and fields. But I just really see myself being a sonographer. Like, I'm way more passionate about it. It brings me ease. It doesn't give me anxiety. Like, I feel like I'm gonna love it, like even when I just think about it. Of course, I gotta get to my core classes to see how I really feel, but that's what felt safe in my space, in my heart. So I thought this was a better option for me. But as far as like advancing your career, I feel like the only advancements that you really have are gonna be, if you're doing like cardiac, you can go into peds, or you can go into echo, or you can do all those things, but you do have to get trained to do those or go back to school. Now, if you do OB or the abdominal or vascular route, you can always change into all those different fields. So you can have so many modalities under your belt, and you won't get bored or tired. But honestly, with the heart, you're not going to get tired either, in my opinion, because you're always going to be learning. You're always going to be finding something new. Everybody's heart is different. I don't know, the heart is very interesting, but then when we start learning about it, I'm like, am I freaking out? If you're a sonographer now and you're already watching this, please tell me, does it get easier? People say it gets easier, but like, do it really get easier? Anyways, so yeah. Also, people say that you can go into like teaching positions, so you can go back to schools and teach, be a full-time teacher, or you can teach maybe possibly at the hospitals for the new people who come in and new hires. I'm not really sure, but also you can go into like honestly, I think those are the only two that you can go into, but mistake me if I'm wrong. Honestly, I would just look on the internet and see if there's any other fields that you can go into, but I think it's a really good option. I know y'all worried about pay, but I'm gonna be honest with you, pay is different everywhere. I can't say I haven't seen not one job start off less than $32, and the most I've seen for people hiring is like maybe $62 an hour. Again, $32 may be a little bit to some people. It just depends on where you live, because me personally, where I live in Jacksonville, and $32 to me, that's not a lot. But also, sometimes you can't even think about that. Sometimes you have to think about getting your experience, your first year of experience, or your first 2 years, because everybody say this job really takes 2 years, a year or two, to really grasp. So that's another thing. I don't want y'all thinking like this is going to be an easy field. I did not go into this career with this mindset, so I'll have my reality check about it soon and what it is for me. But this is not that easy peasy. Everybody says also it causes stress on the body. You'll get possibly, God forbid, but carpal tunnel is something that you can get from this. You can get arthritis, all types of body aches, body pains. Like, it's very serious. It's not just, oh my gosh, I'm scanning babies. Like, no, that's amazing, but do y'all think y'all getting paid $40 an hour to sit and just take pictures? You could do that with your phone for free. Anyways, yeah, so I want y'all to take that in consideration, because there's a lot of sonographers also I've seen who said they got burned out and picked other careers, like they switched to doing something else. But I've also seen sonographers who say they've been sonographers for 16 years and they don't have no issues. They love their jobs. It's also about how you learn. Are you scanning the patients correctly? Do you know how to properly scan? Are you properly positioning them? So it's also going to be up to you, but just don't think it's the easy walk in the park. Also, you are the person who's going to be giving this information to the doctor so they can help with the diagnosis. This is very critical. Like, you can't miss things with people's body. You have to be very, very detail oriented. You have to be really passionate about the job and willing and wanting to be there, because these are people's lives who are literally on the line. So, you know, think about that when you're thinking about ultrasound in general. Overall, I think if you like quiet environments, me personally, that's why I was like very excited about it. Like, you know, something more secluded, calm, and people say it could get crazy though in them rooms with them people, but overall, yeah, I think it's like something that fits my personality more. So yeah, as far as studying, I'm gonna let y'all know it's a lot of studying. Like, even we were just doing our prereqs, and when I tell y'all, we were up, me at least, my peers too, but we would have study sessions and we'll talk like the first hour or two. I think that's anybody in school, but we would be there for like 8 hours, 9 hours. Like, we have classes be long. One class be like 3 hours. Almost all classes is 3 hours. Like, you're tired, like you gotta keep getting up, you gotta go the next day, you gotta go the next day. And so how it works is, like, you'll learn all the information on Monday, you'll have a test on Wednesday, and then on Wednesday when you're done with your test, you're gonna learn way more information, and then you're gonna have a test again on Friday, and it's going to keep repeating the entire semester. It's not going to stop. So it's like you're not catching a break. This is an accelerated program. I need y'all to remember that they are accelerated. So just don't go in thinking it's an easy breezy walk in the park. Yeah, it's full-time commitment to this. Also, like, when you do your clinicals, you're going to be having to go to your clinicals and go to school. So yeah, also I'm working right now, but I'm working every day because we're online, so it's a little bit easier. But when I go back to school, I'm only going to be able to work one day, and I have a job. I'm a substitute right now, so this is very easy for me. I can still, you know, have some downtime and not feel too bloody crowded in my mind. But yeah, so that's really all I have to say about sonography school and applying and just the field in general. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.